Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's executive webinar session, How to Manage Incidents Digitally with QDMS and Acumatica ERP software systems. My name is Kevin Devecioglu, and I am the Managing Director of Bimser International. Today I have my colleagues with me, and with our panel, we'll be sharing informative and educational contents with you with regards to incident management digitally on QDMS and Acumatica ERP system. Today with me, I have my colleagues, Alex Quartero from Emras Consulting. Alex is a certified lead ISO auditor. He is with us and he'll be sharing information with us regarding incident and quality management systems and fundamentals of incident and quality management systems in general, so we can learn from Alex. Also with us today, we have Sam Watt from Bimser International Engineering Team. Sam is a pre-sales software engineer from our engineering team, and he'll be performing a demonstration about QDMS software and Acumatica ERP system together. Also with us today, we have our product manager, Furkan Bas, and he'll be with us during Q&A session. Let's start with brief introductions of Bimser International and QDMS software system, and then we'll continue our executive webinar session with Alex and Sam to learn more about incident management and how to perform incident management digitally on QDMS and Acumatica ERP system. Bimser International is based in New York with global presence. We have been an enterprise software maker since 1998. We'll be talking more about quality management today. So for your information, Bimser is an ISO 9001, ISO 27001, and ISO 15504 certified organization. So we have our own quality management system in place. And we use QDMS software internally with our more than 300 users. In essence, we help companies simplify business processes and help companies adopt digital business transformation. We have global presence. While we are based in New York, we are also present in Europe, Middle East, Southern Europe, and we are active globally. We have partnered with many different organizations in different categories and best-in-class organizations. We are an Acumatica independent software vendor. We are a Halo Smart Center integration partner for predictive, proactive quality management and IoT practices. We are also a Microsoft Gold development partner. We are a partner of MYOB ERP ecosystem. We are a certified SAP vendor. We are also in Sage Intacct, Oracle, Sage X3, as well as COFEX ecosystems. So we are very active globally in many different categories with our partners and with our integration capabilities. Since 1998, we developed these 4 products. We have EBA as our workflow automation and document management platform. It helps companies digitize and automate their business processes in a low-code, no-code development environment. We have BEAM. BEAM is our asset, maintenance, facility, fleet, and energy management software. With the help of BEAM, you can manage your preventive, predictive, and periodic maintenance operations digitally to reduce maintenance cost. We'll talk more about QDMS today. QDMS is a quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management software. And with the help of QDMS, you can manage all of your quality management systems digitally. And I'll talk more about QDMS in a minute. And Ensemble is an intelligent business process modeling and performance management software. In the bottom left, you can also see a contract management application, helps companies manage contracts digitally with no need of paper. Contract management application is powered by EBA platform. That's where it actually has been developed, and that is also Acumatica ERP certified. QDMS software solution is also Acumatica ERP certified, and BEAM software solution is also Acumatica certified software systems. They work standalone, also integrated with Acumatica ERP systems. Speaking of integration capabilities, our systems, all of our software systems, they have modern architecture, and we have integration capabilities so that you can have an integrated management system with no need of double entry. All of our systems, being QDMS as well as EBA, they integrate with IoT devices such as Halo smart sensors and other PLC and sensors, manufacturing execution systems, CRM systems, and ERP systems. We have integration capabilities to pull and push data. As I mentioned earlier, the idea is to help you have an integrated business management system with no need of double entry. So this is who we are and what we do as Bimser International on a high level. Let's talk about QDMS a little bit before I hand it over to Alex. QDMS is a quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management system. Bimser has been developing QDMS since 1998. It's a mature, it's a solid and reliable system. That is why it has more than 1,000 corporate clients and more than 1 million professional users. So it is a specialist in its category, and it's a leader to help companies digitize and automate business processes in quality management and compliance management operations. QDMS is a certified Acumatica software system. It is already located in Acumatica ERP's marketplace, and we just updated our certification for 2020 R2 version of Acumatica ERP system, and we'll continue updating our certifications with Acumatica for Acumatica customers, prospects, and vendors. All of our systems, including QDMS, actually vertical free, meaning you can enjoy the benefits of QDMS in any industry. When we look at this list, we have been offering QDMS, and we have customers of QDMS in automotive, aerospace, for example, industry, construction industry, energy industry, healthcare, pharmaceutical, manufacturing, medical device, food and beverage, and many other industries. We have customers, clients using QDMS on a daily basis. If you are using QDMS, you are ready for audit anytime, anywhere, so that you can comply your quality management standards as well as regulatory requirements digitally with the help of QDMS. With QDMS, you can manage quality assurance operations, you can manage quality control operations, as well as predictive and proactive quality management operations you can perform with the help of our smart sensor integrations. We are an official Halo Smart Sensors integration partner, so we already have ready-made integrations to help you have an integrated proactive quality management system in place. This is our quality management framework in the scope of digital transformation. So if you follow this framework as to digitize and automate your quality management system with the help of QDMS, we believe it's easier and beneficial for your organization to adopt digital transformation in a short time. Similar to all of our systems, QDMS has modern integration capabilities. It already has integrations available with Acumatica ERP system. Also, it has integrations with manufacturing execution systems, Halo Smart Sensors, CRM systems, and many other business software systems. QDMS can integrate to pull and push data to help you automate business processes. Halo Smart Sensors, that's our latest partnership, is designed to help you remotely monitor your work environment, temperature, humidity, pressure, light, noise, and other important events and developments can be monitored remotely with the help of Halo. So Halo monitors, QDMS takes action for continuous improvement and help you have a safe work environment. That is why we have a ready-made integration with Halo Smart Sensors. QDMS has a modular structure. You can pick and choose any module you like. We have control document management module, we have customer complaint module, corrective action module, we have risk management, and many other modules as you see. We have more than 30 modules available of QDMS. And you can decide whichever module you like. You can add later more modules as per your quality management and compliance requirements. Our goal is to help you digitize and automate your quality management operations, and you are free to choose any module you like to reach this goal. Great. So until now, I talked about Bimser International as to who we are, what we do, and how we help all companies and organizations adopt digital transformation with the help of our systems. Also, I talk about QDMS, our quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management system on a high level. Now I'd like to invite Alex Kvartirov to our virtual stage, and we can learn from Alex as for incident management, as for continuous improvement, and fundamentals of quality management systems on a high level. Alex, if you're ready, please take over the screen.
Yes, sure.
I'll make sure you are the presenter, so you won't have any challenges when you are sharing your screen. Okay, I think you are good to share your screen now. Okay, we can see your screen.
All right, very good.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, very good. Thank you everybody for joining this webinar, and thank you, Kevin, for inviting me to address really the requirements of ISO 9001, and really it applies to all of the ISOs, and how it applies to incident management. Okay, before I start to discuss this topic, I just wanted to have a very brief introduction of my company. I am personally, I'm a certified ISO 9001 lead auditor, and I'm the sole proprietor of AmRust Consulting. I've established AmRust Consulting in 2015 after a lengthy career as a project manager in a large aerospace company that is certified to the AS9100 quality standard, and that is the aerospace quality standard. So what I currently do is I provide consulting services for businesses that either want to achieve certification or maintain ISO certification. Now, back in 2018, I came across the software products that Bimser International is offering, and I met Kevin, and specifically I was very interested in the capabilities of QDMS, because dealing with ISO, and when I was working with my customers, dealing and processing all of the data that ISO generates is a tremendous effort, and that all has to be planned and organized. And I found that the QDMS tool offers a tremendous capability, and it makes life a lot simpler. And I will discuss how the tool can help you in dealing with non-conformances and incidents. And I also do present a number of webinars and lectures on various ISO topics. Okay, so first, I just want to give a very brief top-level introduction of what is a quality management system. And I think this pictorial view kind of shows very nicely what a quality management system should be. By the way, this is this diagram is called the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, which was developed by Deming many years ago. And Deming obviously is a very well-known quality guru. So in effect, the basis of the quality management system is continuous improvement, and there are various stages of this process, and all of the main stages are shown pictorially here. The ISO has a number of clauses. The requirement clauses are clauses 4 through 10, which are shown on the right-hand side. But today, I really am going to focus on clause 10, which is improvement. And this is where you will find the requirements for dealing with incidents or non-conformances. So let's get into that. Okay, so let's look at now what is clause 10 requires you to do. All right, so well, first of all, there's really 3 paragraphs in clause 10. 10.1 is a general introduction, which states that yes, you have to have continual improvement, and that's obviously based on management review. So management has to be fully involved in this process. And now when you have actions that you requires corrective actions, well, they could be done by whatever training and go through a process of making changes. But all of that process has to be well organized, and it has to be based on evidence. You just can't guess what would be a solution. You have to do a root cause analysis and come up with the real source of the problem so you can make appropriate corrections. Now, paragraph 10.2 deals with nonconformity and corrective action. Now, really, ISO 9001 doesn't specifically use the term incident. They use the term nonconformity, but nonconformity is a very broad term that covers incidents. And I'll on the next slide, I will go over a little more into the difference between or the nuance between nonconformity and incident. But nonconformity certainly includes incidents, but the important thing here is that whenever you have a nonconformity or incident, you have to take corrective action to fix this problem, nonconformity, so it doesn't occur again. Okay, so now a certain action, certain process has to be started. It has to be evaluated and documented. That's very important. So here's where QDMS comes in. So all of the steps that you're going through, it's in other words like a plan that you set up to fix this particular nonconformance has to be documented, and you have to follow the progress of it so you can bring it to a successful conclusion. And also, internal audits are required because internal audits pick up, nonconformances that in turn generate corrective actions. And finally, paragraph 10.3 specifies the continual improvement, which is really the core of ISO, and as of the quality management system as well. So you have to maintain the QMS so it is fully operational, and so that all of the nonconformances incidents can be corrected appropriately. Now, I just want to mention that another ISO 4501, which is the Occupational Health and Safety ISO, it does specifically require accident and incident investigation. So if you certify to that, then you have to follow the process of closing out the incidents. If you are not certified to ISO 4501, then certainly any incidents or accidents will still be treated as a nonconformity under ISO 9001. So let's now look at what are some of the possible events that can cause nonconformities. Okay, now I've listed, and this is certainly not an exhaustive list, but I kind of listed some of the major sources of nonconformities, and I identify them in 2 colors, as you can see. On the top is in blue color, and this deals with mostly non-conformance of your product or service that you're providing. So if you're building, let's say, a widget and you have issues, non-conformances with the widget, that's identified in the blue color. In the below, in the red color, are accidents and incidents, okay, that are also non-conformances and have to be resolved, okay? But so that's why I kind of want to identify that non-conformance really is a broad topic that covers a lot of different issues. So certainly anything has to do with your product, whether it's a deviation from a procedure, from a specification, from norms or specified limits. So you're not really meeting the requirements of your product or service, okay? That's a non-conformance that you have to go through a root cause analysis and then find a solution so that that non-conformance is eliminated. You can also have a non-compliance to some legal requirements. That has to be addressed as well. Now, as far as incidents or accidents, they're identified in red, and they're obviously a problem with your infrastructure, your environment, obviously deals with unsafe practices or conditions, accidents with some discharges or emissions, spillage, leakage, emission, accident due to improper handling of different type of materials, anything that has to do with impacting the environment, okay, or the health and safety of your employees. That's definitely an incident that has to be addressed, or even handling improper handling of hazardous materials and waste. So all of this is really has to be treated as a non-conformance, so you have to follow the process of eliminating that particular source of the incident. But all of that has to be recorded, and certainly, as I mentioned, and certainly Kevin has introduced the QDMS tool, certainly that will give you a lot of assistance in handling and bringing all those issues to closure. Okay, finally, just in conclusion, what I wanted to say is that in general, managing QMS is not an easy task. It's very challenging, and recently, in the past year, it even became more difficult with the pandemic. And why so? Well, because obviously a lot of employees are working remotely. And once you're located off-site, now you still need to get real-time access to all of the QMS data. And so, but you really need virtual access. So you need access like as if you were working on site. So that's, again, that capability is really provided by the QDMS tool, and later Sam will show you how the tool can help you in this, in this matter. Audits, okay, audits is a very important aspect of any ISO certification, and audits can be conducted remotely, again, if you have the proper tools, and certainly QDMS would give you that capability. So we all hope that, the COVID will gradually go away, hopefully before the end of the year. But we've kind of established a new way of dealing with a remote workforce, and it's likely to stay, I think, beyond the current pandemic, because it has a number of advantages. Namely, there's no commuting, and you have a larger access to a labor pool. But again, you need to have a very sophisticated tool in order to achieve that capability. So again, as a takeaway, the QDMS tool will certainly give you that capability And basically, that's the end of my presentation. So I'd like to turn it over back to Kevin. Thank you.
Alex, thank you very much. Your informative presentation. Much appreciated, as always. Thank you. Please stay with us as we may have some questions and we can address it with your help and assistance and with your expertise. Thank you. All right, so moving on, let's have a show and tell. So in this session, we like to show you how QDMS looks, how it feels, how it runs with Acumatica ERP system. And we'll show you incident management module of QDMS. We'll show you corrective action module of QDMS. And as a bonus subject, we'll also show you proactive quality management as to our ready-made integration with Halo smart sensors. Halo monitors, QDMS takes action. That's our motto nowadays. So we'll also show you those two systems in action. In addition, we'll also show you reports and dashboards available in our software system for you to see your KPIs, your activities, status, and so on. So as Alex mentioned earlier, we see incidents as an opportunity to take corrective actions for continuous improvement. Based on and type of the incident, you can run investigations, you can run internal reviews, you may use maybe external experts as to understand what really happened, depends on the type of the incident or accident, as Alex mentioned early on. And based on those investigations and findings, you may take corrective actions to improve business processes or to learn certain lessons as to moving forward in the scope of continuous improvement. So that is how actually we designed QDMS, to help you keep records of all these steps in a digital environment. You can always retrieve them. You can always see the reports, dashboards, and other records as you need to understand where you are coming from and what really happened. Also, these records are available for any audit. You may be audited by ISO. You may be audited by FDA, FAA, or any other regulatory body, for example, locally, state-wise, or federally, for example, depends on where you are. In addition, you may also be audited by your customers, which is very common nowadays. Customers, they take very seriously as to who they are working with, the quality of their suppliers, the quality management mindset and practices of their suppliers. So you may be also audited by your customers. So with the help of QDMS, you are ready for audits anytime, on any day of the year. So that's a great advantage, great benefit that we are offering on QDMS. So having said that, I'd like to invite my colleague, Sam Watt. Sam is our pre-sales software engineer from our engineering team at Bimser International. And Sam will be performing the demonstration as per the agenda that I just shared with you. Sam, if you are ready, please take over the screen. Floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me well?
Yes.
And can you see my screen?
Yes, voice quality is very good. And right now we can see your screen. Thank you, Sam.
Sounds great. And thank you for joining today's webinar. And also thank you, Kevin and Alex, for your presentation. This is Sam, the pre-sales software engineer of Bimser International based in New York. And in the following, I will demonstrate QDMS to you, which is our quality, risk, audit, and compliance management system. As for QDMS, it is integrated with Acumatica ERP, and it is certified by Acumatica ERP as well, so that we can capture the data that you have saved in Acumatica ERP and feed our system accordingly as the master data. Furthermore, they can work on the same page of your web browser. Like this one, what you can see on the screen, I can log in my Acumatica ERP account and open QDMS on the same page of the web browser. On the left, you can still get into the workspaces of Acumatica ERP, and on the right, you can connect to QDMS and start managing the requests and also the pending tasks that are assigned to your account. QDMS is a permission-based system, meaning not everyone can see everything. You will see what you are supposed to do based on the permissions that are granted to your account. Different users have different permissions based on their role, position, profession, department, and group. And after you log into the system, you can find all the pending tasks and also the request for approval on this homepage. And you can get a quick connection by opening the widget on this homepage. And in terms of the notification, you will find one in QDMS, and also you will find a reminder in your email inbox. As for the corrective action that I have to perform, then I can find this assignment and update the record accordingly. On the top left, this is the main menu of QDMS. As QDMS provides over 30 modules that help you to comply with different standards and regulations like ISO, you can enjoy the benefits of the modular structure of our system and pick and choose the modules that you want to have and deploy on your cloud or on-premise server. And today, we will get into the incident management module that helps you to record all the incidents that happen in your company and see if there's any corrective action or other any action that we have to perform in order to have the continuous improvement in our company. In this incident management module, you can see that we can pick and choose, first of all, the form that we are going to fill in, like a regular incident form, or there is some more as for complying other regulation or the standard like OSHA. So the form, like all the fields that you can see in QDMS, they are configurable, meaning we can always update the field or the label that you can see in the system and help you to manage the information that you want to save by using our system. In this example, we have an incident, then we can record it with the date and also the phone number, for example, and the name of the employees or who is filing this record, and all this information as for the employee, the vendor, customer, and also the stock item, they are coming from Acumatica ERP, meaning you don't have to double entry all this master data, and instead, we will capture it and pull it from Acumatica accordingly. As we have the user list ready, then we can pick and choose the user. Also, we can enter, for example, the ID number and also the gender from a drop-down list. Again, all of these, they are configurable, meaning they are not constant in our system. Once it is ready, then we can put this into the workflow that we have defined it in QDMS. For example, we can save this and send this for approval. In addition, if you think like there is any precaution action is needed, then we can also add this action associated with this incident, like a new document, a corrective action, or other action that we have. For example, risk assessment, or just regular action instead of corrective action. And once we choose either one of them from the drop-down list, then you have the option to choose an existing record in the system or create a new one. Saying we want to have a corrective action, then the system will ask you if you need a new record. If yes, then the system will take you to the corrective action module automatically. Besides, you can also find that we have an internal integration among the modules of QDMS. So you can always find the connection between different modules and help you to automate the process for quality management. As I mentioned, once it is ready, then we can send this out and it will be sent into the workflow that we have designed it. And on your screen, you will see now it is waiting for the second approver, which is also myself, in order to have a smooth demonstration. And as for this approval is ready, then I can log in my account as the approver and find this approval request right on my home screen. Seeing now I log in my account as the approver, then I can scroll down and see where is my notice, which is right here. This is the one that you have just entered with a unique number, and I can open the form, and you may find that now we have a different view on this form, meaning QDMS also has the capability to help you to manage the information for different approver or different role in the workflow. As I'm now the approver, then I have to enter, for example, the description of the incident, and also if record if there's any witnesses, the department that this incident occurred, the issue of the incident from a drop-down list, and all these items, they are configurable in the system. Also the possible reason. Again, what you see in this screen and also in this module, they are not constant, they are not static. We can always update it based on the actual operations and also the preference of your company. When it is ready, then we can send this out and it will be sent to another approver based on the workflow or save into the database. Now then we send this to another layer in the approval flow for a final review. And this is how we can manage and record all the incidents happen in our company. And there is a reporting tool in every single QDMS module so that we can generate our report, for example, for the action report, and also have our graphical report as well. Like we want to see how which department that we recorded the most incident in our report, so that we can put our conditions or criteria into this particular fields and then generate our report. So saying we want to see the location, and then we can draw our graph, and it will be shown in a pie chart or a bar chart based on the preference that we have designed it on the left. And also we can find all your records to be shown in a table as well. You are more than welcome to export our report into Excel, PDF, or image for sharing with any responsible parties. As I mentioned, we have our incident recorded, and while you're recording your incident, you can also create a corrective action related to that incident. Actually, in QDMS, we also have the corrective action module, as known as CAPA module, which can work as a standalone or communicate with other modules of QDMS. And all your corrective action records will be shown as different status based on the progress that you're handling this record, like open, follow-up, planned, and follow-up, planned, and also results, for example. So it's based on the progress that we're handling this particular record. Saying now we have a record ready, and then let me show you what you can enter to create a new corrective action record. While you're creating a new one, then you can pick and choose the source that we having this corrective action, like if it is about incident, risk assessment, employee observation, or quality control, and so on. Then you can also enter the department, the location, the non-conformity. The system takes you step by step to manage all the information that you need for managing and recording the corrective action record. After the detail that we have entered for this record, then we can also assign this to a solution team, meaning who is going to be the responsible team or person to handle this non-conformity. And on the top, we can see more tab is available, and the system will take you step by step. Once you finish the leftmost one, then the one on the right will be available. Meaning on the top now, after we saving this record, then we have to first of all manage the first progress report, like our first investigation, and then define the root cause. After that, we have to define the action, like the corrective action that we assigned it and created, and close the corrective action record if there's no other follow-up action is assigned. And let me pull up one of the records that we have in the system and show you how the system record all this information. And this is a report-like page that show all the records that we have managed by using QDMS. As first, we have to define the department and also the source, the non-conformity, and the category of this non-conformity with the date and time. The system will save this automatically so that this is also the audit trail that helps you to keep tracking all the date and time for all your records in QDMS. After that, we can assign this to a solution team and also the first progress report in this page. Later on, we can define the root cause and then generate or assign the corrective action to the action performer. This action performer will receive a notification in his account or her account, and he or she has to come back to QDMS and update the status when they finish this corrective action. Therefore, you can find the action also date and time. As we recorded, the date and time is open and the date and time is finished. If there's no other follow-up action is needed, then we can close this corrective action record accordingly. By using our system, it helps you to be ready for the audit, like ISO audit, every day. Because first of all, our system is web-based, so that you can connect it by using your web browser. And also, you don't have to spend any time to record and store your record of your corrective action. All of those can be managed digitally in the system, and you can open one of the records or show all the records by running our reporting tool in the system and show this to the ISO auditor. The ISO auditor will absolutely be impressed with this quality management system, and also it helps you to save your time and also cost. Think about like if you're managing it in Excel on your local computer, or you're managing it by paper. You have to spend your time to organize all those records, and once the auditor asks you to show them one of your records how to manage your non-conformity, you have to spend your time to look over your local drive or even your drawer. By using our system, you will not have this kind of problem. And in QDMS, we also have the dashboard features that allows you to visualize all your data into the ranges of our dashboard. It helps you to keep tracking the performance and also KPIs of your company. All your data will be shown as a scorecard, a list, a table, or even a pie chart or bar chart. So that it helps you to do your analyze and also your future action planning. Let's come to my demonstration of QDMS and let us get into our bonus content, which I want to show you is how QDMS work with the Halo Smart Sensor. In QDMS, we have an extension that is integrated with Halo Smart Sensor. And as for Halo Smart Sensor, this is a smart sensor to capture the value like the noise, the environment, like temperature, humidity, THC, for example, and see if they are within the threshold value that we have set up in the sensor. And this is the home page of Halo Smart Sensor. As all the icons, they are now in green color, meaning all of those are under or within the threshold value that we set up. And we are going to take the temperature as one of the example. Think about it like we are having this sensor equipped in a freezer or cooler where we store our raw material or our spare parts. And it has to be kept under certain temperature. So now the system shows us, the sensor shows us it is within the threshold value. What if it doesn't? Then let me change the threshold value right here, saying the max temperature that we can have is 40 instead of 100. Then the icons will turn into red. In addition, this Halo Smart Sensor will trigger an application in QDMS extension that first of all remind you we have a abnormal temperature recorded, and also trigger the workflow automatically. Like the responsible person will be notified once we have an abnormal temperature is recorded. Then this responsible person has to carry out a physical checking to the freezer or the cooler or the warehouse or the storage place that we have. And let me show you in QDMS extension how it is triggered automatically. And in this example, you will see a freezer temperature checking application will be triggered automatically. And once after I log in to QDMS extension, I can find this. One second, I'm logging into the system. And you will find this particular application is triggered automatically. And then all the information that we have captured, like the temperature, will be filled in this application by our system. Okay, so now we get into the QDMS, and then I will log in as the responsible person, which is Barbara, and record it in this QDMS extension. Then here's what we have triggered. You can tell from the date and also time, I haven't entered anything in this QDMS extension application, but you can find the Halo's smart sensor message recorded in this application, like the temperature that we have recorded, the threshold value with the date and also time. And the system round up the temperature and put this into the fields of this application. And based on the workflow, as all the application that we have in QDMS extension, there is a workflow working behind it, behind the screen. And the workflow and also the form design, they are not static in our system. And instead, we can always update it based on the actual operation and the preference of your company. And then now we can perform our second checking, like the physical checking, and see if there's any abnormal temperatures recorded that is related to the smart sensor or to the freezer. If there's any non-conformity that we have to report, we can also record it as a corrective action record in QDMS. So the system will take you to the QDMS page and to the corrective action module that allows you to manage your non-conformity record, recording, and also assign this to a solution team with the same message that we received from the Halo Smart Sensor. So this is how you can have your predictive and proactive maintenance by using our system, and in order to have a continuous improvement and comply with different standards and regulations. It's come to the end of my demonstration. Thank you very much.
Sam, thank you very much for the demonstration. I appreciate it. Let me take over the screen and let's continue our executive webinar session. Okay, great. As Sam demonstrated earlier, now you can manage your incidents digitally. You can keep the records digitally on QDMS. And it is just the beginning, of course. Just keeping the records is not enough. So what do we do with it? We can perform an investigation. We can have audits. And the idea is to find a way to make sure how we can improve our business processes, how we can take corrective actions for continuous improvement. So just recording is not enough. So you can also do more on QDMS as for audits, as for investigations, as for root cause analysis. And then you can actually come up with a continuous improvement, focus, action, corrective action planning. So that is the critical piece to make sure we improve our business processes and we take advantage of these incidents or accidents, for example. Great, so let's look at our Q&A and our questions as to how we can actually address them. So one of the questions is about Acumatica and QDMS integration model. How do you integrate with Acumatica ERP, and what is your integration model? Sam, would you please address this question?
Sure. As for the integration between Acumatica ERP and QDMS, actually, Acumatica ERP holds all the master data, like the customer, vendor, stock item, and also the department information, and feed QDMS accordingly. Because as for QDMS, it is not an ERP system. It helps you to manage your quality management activities. So that Acumatica ERP hosts all this master data and feed our system, and our system will capture it, and you don't have to double entry all this master data in between these two systems.
Thank you, Sam. As my colleague Sam mentioned, we have actually a very flexible integration model with Acumatica. So we like Acumatica to be the core piece as to keep especially the master data, as we call it, as for vendors, customers, items, employees, and so on. So we like to keep it on Acumatica when we have an integration. We can pull and push data. It is not a problem. There are some cases that we actually update the master data on QDMS, and then we send the updates to Acumatica as well. So that's also on the table. So it depends on your business requirements, depends on how you are using Acumatica at the moment, what type of modules of Acumatica you have. Then we basically make our integration with Acumatica available for you. So that is actually case by case. But in essence, we have the foundation integration, and we pull the master data so that you can perform your quality management and compliance management related activities in a digital environment. So that is actually how we are looking at things. And in terms of integrating with Acumatica, we also have web service APIs available. As we very well know, Acumatica also has web service APIs for seamless, smooth, maybe even robust integration capability. So we have a lot of capabilities with Acumatica together. That's a good question. One of the questions about pricing. So we don't release pricing during the webinar, but as you see on the slide, we have our contact information on the screen. So please send us your questions or your contact information, and we'll continue this conversation. We can learn more about your business requirements, your challenges, your expectations, and we can discuss more about QDMS Acumatica combo together, or QDMS as a standalone software solution. And we can also discuss pricing as well based on your requirements. Not a problem. One of the questions is about the module structure, if there is any limit or requirements for the module set. So there is no requirement, minimum or maximum requirement. You can have as many modules as you like to get started with QDMS, to start digitizing and automating your quality management processes, especially when you think about control document management, customer complaint, audit management, accident and incident management. These are critical, actually, pieces of your quality management operations that you like to digitize and automate. However, the priorities as to which one you are going to start with is really up to you, and we are really very flexible on that. Great. So looks like we addressed all the questions. Oh, one of the questions about actual mobile application. So we do have a mobile application. It works on Android as well as iOS devices. So you can use QDMS on your laptop, your desktop computer, laptop computer, as well as your smartphones and tablets. So you can, especially our customers like it very much, especially when they are performing audits, for example, or when they are putting together reports. You may be traveling, you may be working remotely, for example, during pandemic or any other time during your work hours. So you can always access QDMS from anywhere. Let's remember, QDMS is web-based, so once we make it available for you, you can access it from anywhere. That's an important piece of information. Also, we actually offer a very safe and secure environment. So there is unique username and passwords, as well as there is audit trail when you are performing your quality management operations. There is the notifications, reminders, and escalations to make sure your tasks and your activities are actually moving forward. They're actually taking place, and we are helping you making sure of it. We also have encryption capabilities. If you like to encrypt the data information that you are keeping on your system, we can also encrypt it for you so that you can have an additional layer of security. And you can always have additional cybersecurity tools in your IT arsenal, and then you can support your IT infrastructure, of course. But we are doing our part as for quality management software provider to make sure you are having a safe and secure quality management environment digitally. Great. So it looks like we addressed all the questions. Before we end our session, Alex, is there any other final remarks, message that you like to share with our audience?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to reiterate what Sam explained so well regarding how QDMS can actually help manage your non-conformances, because really certainly to support an audit, especially for the certification organization that's doing the audit, is to show that you are indeed following the intent of ISO in managing all of your non-conformances. And certainly QDMS will do that. If you obviously fill in all of the information and use the tool properly, there is really no time for preparation for the audit, because it's all there, no matter, even if it's spread out amongst all the departments. The database is one database, so the auditor has access to all that information, and even that can be done remotely. because with the QDMS dual key can be given access rights to see all of that information. So it doesn't only apply to obviously non-conformances, it applies to all of the ISO related data. So I think that's why it's so important to have such a powerful tool as QDMS in dealing with all of your ISO data. So that's what I really wanted to stress.
Alex, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you for the insights. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Very important. Very important. We always appreciate it. Thank you. Before we end our executive webinar session, I'd like to remind you to watch the recordings of Synergize 2021 annual virtual conference and summit of Bimser International. We had this virtual conference in March, and it was very successful. We had audience, we had also great panels and panelists we had with us together. So we had educational content as well as very informative technology focused sessions that we had. And we invite you to watch our Synergize 2021 recordings in our YouTube channel. They are available and you can access and watch anytime you like. I'm confident you'll find it to be very informative. Also for next year, we are getting ready for Synergize 2022. This year we focus on working remotely, so the feature of remote work was our focus. Next year we'll focus more on the automating business processes in different industries in this digital age. So we are inviting you to register for Synergize 2022 in our Eventbrite page. Our YouTube channel is very active. We have more than 200 videos available for our products as well as with webinars and use cases. We typically cover the subjects of digital transformation, manufacturing 4.0, predictive quality management, and automation. So please visit our YouTube channel and please subscribe so you'll be notified as soon as we have a new video available. We basically release new videos every week about our products, use cases, and other informative content. Our Eventbrite page is available for your view, and we put all of our coming events and we list them on our Eventbrite page so you can see what is coming up as for online events and as well as on-site events, hopefully in the future. And you can register and join us with the help of our Eventbrite page. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. We are looking forward to having you in our coming executive webinar sessions. Thank you and have a nice day.